Hey guys, what's going on?
What it is. What up, you filthy animals?
Welcome to another Wednesday Night Live. We haven't seen you fuckers in a while. We love you. We miss you.
What's it been? 2 weeks?
It's been 2 weeks. Well, we did the thing last night, but nobody showed up for that.
Well, here's the kicker to that. No one knew we were doing it.
Yeah.
So there is that. Um, and that's actually nobody's fault. So before we get started, we're going to actually talk to you guys about that bit. Uh, it seems as though a lot of you guys are missing out on content, having to catch videos later, and wondering when we're actually doing things live. Uh, you have to go in and switch your notification settings.
Mhm. When you go into the Spirit Mechanics page, there will be a message button, right? It's on your phone. There'll be the big blue message button. Beside it's the three dots. Click the three dots. Go to your follow settings. Click that, and it'll bring up three different things. And there'll be the highlights, which you could for like regular posts. If you want to have all of those, every post that we do, you can click that and show all the posts. It's the same with the next option. The last option is for the live streams. If that option is not clicked, it's crapshoot whether you'll catch us or not.
Yep.
So you got to click that to get all the notifications for when we go live.
It's the way that Facebook has set up its algorithm. If you guys don't, because it's not the same as when you follow. At least the way it used to be. It used to be when you followed somebody, you got all the notifications anyway.
Yeah, it's subject to the algorithm now. So
Yep. If you guys don't change your stuff, you don't know when we're doing stuff, and we don't think y'all have interest. If we're being honest.
because we were like sitting here last night, and it was just me and Steve. Me, Steve, and Dustin on his thing. We were playing Phasmophobia, and nobody had any idea what was going on.
Yeah, we actually had people talking to us today that were saying, we had no idea that you guys do on Tuesdays, even though we've been doing it for over a month. So it really got us to thinking about it.
So if you're catching this later, that's what's up. You got to change your settings. It's like going. That's the reason why, like on YouTube, they always say click the bell icon to get all of our notifications for our videos because it'll get lost in the ether.
Yep. So there's that.
And if you all wouldn't mind, share this out to let's get some people up in this mofo. Throw some shares out.
Yeah, we're here to hang out. It's Wednesday night hangout. Also, if you guys have any questions, if you got anything that's on your mind, go ahead and bring it up. If not, we'll just kind of fly at the seat of our pants,
Like we usually do.
yeah, and see what see what shakes. Um, I did a quick word earlier today. Um, that's got all of our major updates, but the biggest one that I do want to go ahead and talk about now, we are doing the second round for the 102 class. That is going to happen next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you're interested, if you've already registered and you didn't make last time, you don't have to worry about it. Just show up. If you have taken the class and you've already registered, don't worry about it. Just show up if you're interested in doing an audit. If you have not registered, please do so. That way we know to pull you into the classroom. You can do that at spiritmechanics.com/store. And also the 103 is up for registration for those who want to take it. Now the big thing with the 103, we are charging more for it. Big reason why, it is going to be mainly a workshop. This is going to be really heavy in showing you guys how to do the thing proper. So we're going from talking about it to doing it. Um, so that's the big reason for that. It's $40 as opposed to 20.
Okay. So now that we got all that out of the way,
Right? Now what we talk about.
well, at the moment, well, I mean, as far as like stuff that we usually talk about, because we run the gambit until actual topic drops or we go in a particular tangent,
Right.
and then just follow and ride the wave until the end.
Right. Right.
How's your all's week been? I have no idea who all was on because this doesn't show me.
Let's see. Barb Maggard, Robin Dixon. That seems to be the only two that have
Hey, TG, what's up?
said something. TG's on, huh?
TG and Ron Schneider.
Hey Ron, what's up?
What's going on, guys?
Wow. I'm I'm not getting half the notifications.
You have to actually swipe it and unswipe it again.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're. I don't know what they've done to it, but it's been doing that for about a month.
Yeah, it's still not coming up for me. So what we do?
Reload it.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if it'll. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering why we used to average anywhere between 20 to 25 people on these streams, and then it just tanks out to like 10. And it's been doing that for the last little bit. I don't know if the algorithm deems us not worthy anymore or what, but it is what it is on that, I reckon.
I don't see it.
You don't see what?
She might be talking about the three dots.
Yeah, you actually have to exit this live stream, go onto the actual page itself, and then it'll be beside the message tab. Unless we gotta start changing some stuff around with our end, I don't think we have to.
We shouldn't have to
Mm-mm.
on that. But yeah, a lot of our regulars, we're wondering where the hell everybody is, and come to find out, now we know. But
It's beside the book now on the page. There is the three dots. It's below the like button. You click it. I can't do that, but where I'm an admin, it automatically takes me into editing stuff. So it'll be beside the book now thing, and then hit it, and then go into your follow settings. So that's pretty much the one on that. I mean, like with most of our other stuff, I mean, our big ones have been like the ones that gain the most looks, and like right now. I mean, we have only 3 people watching, including you.
yeah,
But anyway, I don't know what's going on. It's different.
I have no idea either.
Give me just a second. Let me look at some stuff. Nobody shared nothing.
I did.
So did I. That's the only 2 people that shared. But anyway, one thing we're wanting to do, I wanted to, I had an idea and I was going to ask, hey, Jenny Tub, holy crap, you made it. You can actually see us. Can you see us?
Share the thing. Please share the thing. Share the live stream.
Dude, get down.
Because it's literally, we're actually trying to tell people about that. The reason why no one's been getting our stuff is because they changed the follow settings. So you guys have to go in and actually tell Facebook what it is that you want to know is going on with our page.
Yeah, it is the damnedest thing.
It's it's a fucking mess. Um,
Thanks, Barb, for sharing. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Um, but yeah, if you guys don't click the stuff that you want to see from us, then you won't see it. So you won't get notifications that we're live. You won't get notifications of our posts. They'll just kind of fade off into the distance. Um, Also, if you don't share, uh, we get kicked out of the algorithm too, which makes it even harder for you guys to get content. Because then you won't show up in the regular algorithm.
Thank you. Appreciate it. 4 shares.
Woo!
Woo! All right, cool. So, I'm the biggest thing here in the last little bit with me, as far as like stuff outside, has just been watching. I've been watching a lot of nostalgia videos, like Let's Plays of like Metal Gear.
With me, I've actually been watching a veritable shit ton of Bob Ross.
Oh, art.
Yeah, it specifically art art theory,
Mm.
the actual understanding of an artist, well, art, the reason why they do what they do,
Mm.
and because it kind of goes back to the whole Masashi Miyamoto thing.
Mm.
In order to wield a spear, one must wield a brush,
Mm.
and in order for one to actually use a sword, one must know how to garden. Those kinds of things. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, I need a moment, a different kind of moment than just a break or a vacation, because that's not the kind of moment I need. And I went back, before the eyes got bad.
Mm.
Well, worse. Let's put it that way. Before the eyes got worse, and I could still see to draw and do things like that. That was my go-to, was to paint and draw and do the thing. So I've been getting drawn to channels like Drawfee and Bob Ross. Going back through his old stuff, and,
Right.
Uh, different painters and different artists. And it's actually been very almost cathartic,
Mm.
because you can see it in real time. Somebody actually developed this artwork. This is really cool shit. Because after a while, the science and the metaphysics and all that, it literally bogs the head, and you're
Mhm.
you're like, okay, I need a break, and that's what happened. Because I was watching shit on quantum theory and string theory and wormhole theory with black holes and shit like that, and I was like, all right, my brain's fried. I need a minute.
I do that. There's been a lot of stuff that's been primarily just sciencey stuff. So basically, what would happen if a black hole were smaller, like stuff like that?
Yeah.
It would actually create heat, and it would actually be bright.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the type of radiation that it would produce at such a frequency. So I mean, it was stuff like that that I was watching there for a little bit. A lot of chemistry. I love watch. There's like periodic videos that's out of Nottingham University, and I find that I find that relaxing just to watch them just throw shit into a thing and watch this old man just giggle because he finds it still fascinating, like he's a 15-year-old boy, and kind of applying some of that stuff to different thoughts as far as like sublimation and because that is like a particular chemical. I can't remember. I think it's like ammonia something or other. I can't remember. But when you heat it, it actually doesn't boil. It doesn't liquefy. It goes directly to gas back to a solid again. So it was stuff like that that I found that I thought was interesting, more so than anything. Plus the Let's Plays I
Hey,
went through.
what's up, Chris Blevins? What's going on, man?
Hey, dude, how you been? But yeah, that's been kind of the stuff. Plus the I watched an entire series of Final Fantasy IX Let's Play, and I kind of got lost into it for a bit. That was on my TV a lot because he had like 70 damn videos on it, and there's another one of Final Fantasy 12. Basically, the old school ones were, it's stuff I've played before, stuff I haven't got to see yet, and just getting into the stories as far as like the story behind, not the story of the game itself, because I find stories more fascinating than actual gameplay. That's been my biggest thing as a gamer, is getting into a story. That's the reason why there for a bit I was into Destiny 2 a lot, WoW a lot, because I find those stories fascinating. I find those stories to be, and that's my little bit of escape. Yeah, I love the lore. I re-downloaded Elder Scrolls Skyrim to play it again, even though I've beaten the hell out of it and murdered it, beyond recognition
A million fucking
a
times,
million
but
times. But
well, I mean, there's just certain. Fuck yourself, bub. I love you, man. I do. There's a part of me that doesn't though, and I don't want that part to grow. I really don't. Why do you do this to me?
just pushing down.
Hey,
Cat owners are allowed to have boundaries.
could you fuck yourself?
No. Hey, bub, pet me. But anyway, uh, uh,
I love you too, man. As he clings, literally clings. All right, dude. Enough, man.
yeah, I like it. Like World of Warcraft lore, I really like. I got into it for a long time, but I actually got into WoW RP for a bit with Bud. That was fun. I even did a full exorcism in game. I was a mage, and I had everything set as far as like his character had gotten possessed by the spirit because he was playing with this particular thing or whatever. And I had this full thing as a mage on like a series of items that allowed specific like visual effects. That's cool. I had a series of items that used to do that did visual effects, plus like Rune of Power, which puts stuff on the ground. Um, and then the kick it off was like Arcane Explosion that the spell went.
Hello, Steve Shuck. Hello, hello.
But yeah, that was the kind of stuff I did. Plus my paladin, I had a paladin. or my assassin. I was a scout for a military. That was part of one of my RPs.
I never got into WoW like that. I just couldn't.
It's different when you're doing an RP because it has nothing to do with the gameplay. It has to do with one your aesthetic and building your character. And if you can get in with the community and just start doing RPs, it didn't matter your level.
Oh, I just couldn't get into WoW. Like generally, I've played it for long enough. It was one of those kinds of things of it ran its course with me.
Hmm.
It
Get out of my bag. Get out of my bag. Not yours.
but it just didn't stick with me.
Gotcha.
It especially after a certain point, it was like, really, y'all did that with the story, and then tried to save it, and it didn't, and then you sort of saved it, and then you fell apart again. What are you doing?
I mean, like with the first one, it really didn't have much of a, unless you're really paying attention, much of a story as far as like classic. A lot of it was the gameplay.
Yeah.
A lot of that was just it's difficult and it's got gameplay, it's got story beats and things like that in it. That talk about the zones, but as far as like the actual, unless you did the attunement quest to understand like why you were fighting against Onyxia or Ragnaros, they're just a understood part of the lore. Whereas like with the next one of Burning Crusade, and I think Lich King, you actually had a big bad to go after. So,
Miss Carol, hello, hello.
but yeah, guys, I'll nerd all you want. If y'all have a topic to bring up, bring it up, and I'll shift gears into that direction. Because I can nerd pretty hard.
It hangs in the air thick enough to where you can take a bite out of it.
Mm-hmm. Goodness, what was it? Oh, I don't know if we should say that online on here.
What were you
Oh,
about?
we're pretty transparent about what we do as far as like our behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should talk about that.
Which that? You have to be.
So sorry about that. Hey Annette, what's up? I ain't seen you in a while. So we wanted to. It's not really an announcement, but it's more of a thing that happened, and what the crap? Hold on, just a minute. So anyway, I'll go ahead and just kind of put this up there. So, Spirit Mechanics is officially. We talked about how we run ourselves as a nonprofit. We run ourselves as, you know, doing the thing. But what's up?
I have no idea.
There's another cat outside.
Oh, is there?
Yeah, I bet. Because he's at this window now, too. Gosh. Spirit Mechanics is officially an LLC. That's what I've been trying to say for the last 5 minutes.
Okay. We're just gonna shut the goddamn door.
That works. So we're gonna. There's a bunch of things that we're going to be doing. That's going to be a little bit different. There's a bunch of things that me and Tiff are working on behind the scenes for some other stuff. Hey Mandy, what's up?
Well, let's face it, nothing's going to be different. We're just going to be adding things too.
Yeah. As far as the way we run stuff, it's not going to be different. We're just going to be adding some stuff towards some other avenues, some other opportunities that we're trying to create. So, we kind of wanted to throw that out there and be transparent to everybody and let everybody know what's up. So, we got we got our papers.
Yeah, we're street legal.
We're street legal.
Uh,
Almost had my rabies shots.
yeah, he's almost Vidco compliant. At the,
Well, I'm compliant, but I almost got my my rabies shots. I don't want to see the Backstreet Boys reunion tour.
no, I don't want tickets. I don't want you to give me tickets either.
Mm.
No,
I don't want to give anybody else tickets to the Backstreet Boys reunion
that's
tour.
not something that you gift somebody.
No, it's not a
Not
gift.
not that's not a gift that you give someone you care about. Anyway, um, but yeah, that was that particular bit of good news. Plus, it's something that I mentioned on the quick word that I did earlier today. We're now taking house calls again. Now that everybody's pretty much vaxxed up and things are a lot easier for travel, we're going to be taking up house calls again and traveling again.
Mm-hmm.
So that's got me stoked because
Yeah.
that's one of the things that I really love about what it is that we do is the fact that we get to come and see you guys, see different states and different places and go different routes and
Mm-hmm.
you know
I mean, as far as like, there's gonna be a bunch of stuff that's coming up. As far as like, it's already being thrown at us here very shortly, probably within the next 2 or 3 months. There's some groundwork for some other things, some other projects that we're gonna be working on. That probably aren't. They're going to be related to spirit mechanics, but it's probably not going to be spirit mechanics specifically. Um, there's some like our live events are going to start taking off. We got right now we're doing the local ones, and we're being booked for already starting to get booked for 2022. Uh, as far as stuff like that, there's going to be a bunch of things. We're going to be really busy next year.
next year, yeah.
We're
So,
it's going to be a thing to where it's other things have got to start panning for us to be able to fulfill our commitments, especially for next year. A lot of travel, and if you're traveling a lot, that means you can't have a full time job. That means you can't go to a factory and work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. That means we got to leave out sometimes on Thursday or Wednesday to get to an event that's states away. So there's other things that's being that's in the process. I'm not going to say what it is. We'll do a big announcement when we get to that point. Once me, Steve, and Tiff are comfortable with being able to say that stuff. Because it's right now it's planning. It's a lot of planning. If we don't do it right, it might not be great, and we want it to be great. I'm actually looking forward to the opportunity to talk to some kids.
that's actually coming up. That's gonna be the 21st.
Yep, we got an opportunity to actually do a workshop with some young investigators and some that are gifted to give them our point of view. That was an opportunity that popped up a few weeks ago, about a month ago.
Yeah, the ladies that do Crossroads,
Mm-hmm.
the podcast that we were on, well, talk show, same difference anymore. But they do a little bit of a summer camp for kids who are wanting to do paranormal investigation and who are coming into gifts and different things like that. And they always have guest speakers. There's like a day of guest speakers or something, So they asked us to say a few words. That hey, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm down with that. That one I'm excited for. I'm excited about two of our own that are stepping out and doing the goddamn thing proper, and that it'd be the Swangus Missy and Mandy,
The cool sister.
the cool sister.
Yeah.
They're going to be having their first event August 4th and 5th, if I recall correctly. 4th, or is it the 5th? I know it's a one day. It's a one-day event.
Is it a one day?
I think it's a one-day event. I'm pretty sure it's a one-day event. It might be a one-day event.
Might want to look that up, man.
Hold on a minute. Let me look. Mandy, you're in it. You're in the chat. Say the words. Advertise your shit. 7th and 8th. Put the link in here. Do it.
As he loses the ability to speak out of sheer excitement.
Put the thing in the thing.
You can tell this motherfucker was Pentecostal.
Bought a Honda, should have bought a Kia.
But
COCA.
and dead. That's what's gonna kill me.
Thank you for putting that. We're excited for ours, two of ours that are doing their thing.
Yes.
We will be there
Oh yeah.
in full support with bells on, swinging it low.
All day, however long this event is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
And
Give me a microphone and I'll do your announcements. I guarantee people in the neighborhood will hear me.
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
I'll put on my best DJ voice. Hey Teresa, what's up? Teresa Kijik.
Michigan Teresa.
Yay!
Woo!
Woo!
And
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sacred Journey Metaphysical Market.
for those just popping in,
Click the clink.
Clink.
Click the link and it'll take you to all the details of where it's going to be at, all the stuff. So, hey Melanie, what's going on?
And here's the big thing: if you guys have been missing when we go live and such, for those who have popped in later, you have to go in and change your follow settings. If you don't, we won't show up in your newsfeed. Period.
Or it'll just be random. You'll be sitting there scrolling. Hey, that's the guys
From like 2 weeks ago. That actually happened the other day. I got one of our videos in my personal news feed that we had done like a month ago.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest shit. I'm like, well, okay.
But yeah, I mean, you have if you want to catch all of our lives, you have to do all lives, all live notifications. Otherwise, it might be you catch it, and it might be that you don't. So if you want to catch our content, you got to do the thing. That's your part. Also, if y'all wouldn't mind, throw a share out.
Yeah, go ahead and share the live streams. Because that's the thing, is these are for your all's questions more than it is for us to sit and bullshit.
Ramble.
This is for your all's questions. This is, for us to be in support of you. And we need people to do things, say things, ask questions, comment. So we have somewhere to go. Because if we've got a topic, we'll talk about the topic until we're blue in the face. But if we don't have a topic, this is what you get.
Yeah, right now it's more of us being excited for the new event with Mandy and Missy. and us announcing our actual business.
Yeah, we're officially an LLC.
Yay!
So Spirit Mechanics is now an entity. It has a mind of its own. Um,
It might.
but
You never know.
fuck us. Anyway, but it allows us to do other things as well. Spirit Mechanics is still going to be run as a nonprofit, but it allows us to do other things for you guys and with you guys as an umbrella. So we've got a lot of things that are in the works that we think are going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of what I was talking about a minute ago.
yeah,
There's things that we just can't talk about right now.
yeah, because they're nowhere near fleshed out.
No, we're still looking at different options. We're still looking at different things as far as this other as far as one of the other projects that we're wanting to do. That's going to be a while.
But let's see, we
Have you dealt with any entities or spirits who were famous? Actually, I don't think so.
entities or spirits that were famous. Well, that depends on your definition of famous.
Like a
It,
famous person?
now, if you're talking about a international celebrity, no, at least not personally. Um, but if you're talking about local, uh, we have actually dealt with entities that were locally known. Local historian known. Um, our one of our Michigan cases uh, had a situation going on with mines underneath their property, and it was very well known in that area as well as the surrounding area exactly what went down. And sure enough, we had you could see the literal numbers that they wore. Mine crew this, and you could tell about the historian exactly where that group of people went down in a cave in. So I mean, it depends on your definition of famous.
Infamous works too.
Yes. Now, infamous, those we've actually dealt with a few of. Actually had to call out a couple names. Um, in a couple of cases.
But if you want to catch those, you have to come. You have to come to the because I know specific ones he's talking about. You actually have to come to Scarefest to hear about that.
Yep. Speaking of that particular that's another one that we're excited about. We're speaking at Scarefest again this year, and this year will be horror stories from the road.
And those particular infamous characters that we're talking about, those are going to be two of them that I know of that we're going to be talking about.
Oh yeah, because those were two of our worst cases, like straight up worst cases.
One I'll be giving the story. The other one, Steve, I think he gives the better version of that one as far as like his New York.
Yeah,
I'll do the Al Carl.
yeah, gotcha. But yeah, everybody always asks about our worst cases. That seems to be one of the bigger topics, and so we're doing an entire panel basically of our experiences with those worst cases. So,
Those happen to be named.
of course, to protect people's privacy, we will not be naming specific names.
No, as far as even the entities, we're not going to be naming their names.
Well, maybe,
I don't like naming their names.
maybe it'll be safe. We'll just put a do not disturb over the place.
But yeah,
So that's gonna be fun. I'm giggling like a child on the inside because Scarefest,
mm.
uh, 2 years. At least it feels like 2 years.
It's been 2 years. It'll be 2 years then.
Actually, yeah, it will. And that was that's one of those events that we look forward to every year. You know, that's our weekend to actually let loose and have fun. Not to say that we don't have fun on a regular basis,
Right.
but it's it's the atmosphere. You're with a bunch of people of a like mind and are doing the thing in very interesting ways. So it's kind of fun. You're involved in a community, and it's fucked up community, but it's a community.
Well, I mean, it's like one of the big things that I like as far as doing Scarefest is we're one of the few that actually bridges the gap between reader and paranormal,
Mhm.
and we can actually hold a conversation with both sides. So that's actually pretty fun.
And that's always been the goal with us anyway, at least as far as being in the quote unquote field or industry, um, was to be able to bridge that gap. Uh, everybody talks about para unity. You know that's like a huge movement that's going on right now.
Hmm.
And to us, para unity is more than just paranormal groups not bagging on each other. It's literally,
I'm sorry, my brain immediately went somewhere else.
oh yeah, did it on purpose. Did it on purpose. Uh, but yeah, it's not about, well, we do it better and we're going to go in and prove you, useless as an investigator, blah 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 blah. Um, it's also understanding that spiritualists and metaphysicians and mediums and different practitioners also have a place in that particular field. Everything good?
Yeah, I'm helping somebody.
Okay. What's going on?
On their feed froze. I was just hoping to fix it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was a
No.
okay. Um. So yeah, to us, para unity means literal unity. We've been big advocates of paranormal teams actually involving sensitives, and teams of sensitives involving paranormal skeptics for the longest time, and it's still a struggle.
I mean, people have this tendency. Obviously, you want to go the paranormal people want to go into it with a scientific mind, as you should.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, 100%. And people go, the sensitives go in with the woo woo mind,
Yeah.
as you should.
Right.
That's just the way that works. But being able to bridge the gap and both sides working in conjunction with each other is something that we've tried to do for the last 7 years. When we get called in by paranormal investigators to actually do what we do, we ask for their evidence so we know what's going on. That way, we're not thinking they're bullshit.
Exactly.
Give me your evidence so we can, do the thing.
We've actually had paranormal investigators come in on our cases
Yes.
to prove that we were doing what we said we could do.
Yes.
Uh, for that very reason.
Yep.
It's one of those things that there has to be a checks and balances with that with anything, whether it's the field or the industry, especially both. I think that's been the biggest problem, is that there's become this very defined separation. You have the industry, which is about the image and the money, and you have the field, which is about the research and progression. People start in the field, get their break, and go into the industry. But people in the industry don't work in the field, at least not regularly. There are some that do, but not regularly. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, but it shouldn't change. It shouldn't change just because, you get this particular opportunity. That should actually make your field work that much better because you have access to resources and you can buy better equipment and you can fund a bigger team and you know
But that's not how it works. You and I both know that. You got
right.
to, and it's just like uh, doing an event. You're there to sell tickets.
Hmm.
If you are a name on the key on the thing, you are there to sell tickets. If the show does not sell the ad space, if the show does not sell the thing, it does not work because nobody's going to watch it, and you're not going to make any money, and you're not going to be able to do the other things that you're wanting to do. So there has I don't know what could be that middle ground because at the end of the day, it's ruled by production.
Yep, literally, literally. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, it's ruled by production. You
Um,
If your production value's ass, nobody's gonna watch your shit. If nobody watches your shit, you ain't gonna have no advertising wanting to sell slots, to buy slots in your time.
and see, that's the thing. The investigators that we mutually and then separately actually follow and respect. The reason why is because they do. They bridge that gap. Okay, this particular show or event will pay my bills. It'll give me money to do the thing. But in my spare time, guess what I'm going to do?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do my research. I'm going to do free events. I'm going to do, house calls. I'm going to do these kinds of things to
Mm-hmm.
help other people. So, yeah, they go out, they make their money, they do their jump scares on TV. Cool. All right, I got enough money to take care of me and mine. Now I'm going to go take care of them and theirs. And that, at least to me, that is the greatest part of it. That's the point.
I mean, being realistic, me and Steve aren't exactly lookers as far as for in front of a camera.
No, no.
We're, y'all should do a show. Y'all should do this. Y'all should do that. Our insecurity and our imposter syndrome is it doesn't allow us to do that shit. Just to be realistic. I would rather cut out the middleman and just go and help people.
It's too much like, and
Work.
yeah, that's the big thing is once you take the not just fun. Oh, hiccup.
Let me hammer fist you in the chest.
Please don't. But not just fun because it is fun. In between the seriousness, but once you take, how do I say this properly? Um, I don't want to be rude. So once you take the real meat and potatoes out of it, the real substance, it feels too much like a chore, and that's I think where a lot of people get jaded. They start to lose track of what they are actually doing and why they started doing it.
Mm-hmm.
We've said before, not naming names, but we have heard people actually complain over a very hefty sum of what we would consider life changing money. Um, and them literally, we deserve more. And it was just kind of disheartening, at least to me.
Like that kind of money, my expenses, even if I have to take care of my own expenses, that's still life changing. That much, give me that much every year. Shit.
That's enough money for me to actually pay my medical expenses and still have, and I'm talking going to specialists and surgeries and still be able to buy a brand new home and take care of, food in the house and electricity and everything else, and still have ridiculous amounts left over. It it was really disheartening. It,
It's like, good night, man. Give me that 50 grand. I mean, for me, that's just me. 50 grand for me. Oh my God, that's life changing money. But that amount of money, we're talking six figures.
yeah, yeah. These people were complaining over six figures.
It's like, damn, dude,
It's,
what could I do with six figures? A year, a year, mind you, a year.
yeah, that was just for a single year.
Six figures a year.
That's not including any events they did. That's not including any special side gigs they did. That's not including
Any books, any things like that,
any
any
merchandise, any of that. It's not including it. That was six figures.
just for their contract, their TV contract.
That's it.
You know, things I could do with six figures.
I can't, and this is me just being honest. I can't even fathom six figures. I really can't. Like this can tell you all something, at least about me. So I actually got a stimulus. The very first one that I've gotten out of this whole bit, and I didn't know what to do with myself because it was the first time that I have had, you know,
That kind of money.
ever. That was mine, ever. And it honestly shocked me. Literally shocked me. Um, it's just that kind of thing of what the literal fuck are you complaining about? and and so that's kind of what we're getting at is people have this tendency to, once they cross that particular line from the field to the industry, they completely forget about the field altogether. There's an that oh man, that whole joke. You'll see randomly there'll be a few people who watch us throw this particular joke out.
$8,000.
$8,000. Um, there was a Twitter fiasco.
Actually, a year ago, almost to the day.
Mm-hmm. That's why I'm bringing that up. Because it's the anniversary of bullshit. So there was a Twitter fiasco.
It's that. It's that's been that all week, man.
It has been.
Both of us, we can't talk about it publicly
Not at all.
but it makes me giggle. Of a particular person.
But but
And I fired them. Anyway,
in front of everybody.
in front of God and everybody.
In front of God and everybody. But
That's one of my proudest moments in Spirit Mechanics, if I'm being honest. Helping people is amazing. Helping people is... Hold on a second. I actually got to turn our mic down because we're clipping.
oh wow, we're coming in.
We're coming in pretty hot. I love helping people, and there's some cases that are like, my top five cases that I love or even clients, just clients specifically that we've worked with that have meant a lot to me. But as far as a moment, this was one of my favorite moments at being part of Spirit Mechanics, was to be able to fire this person in public.
That says a lot. But anyway,
I'll be right back. I gave my drink.
Yeah, there's a Twitter fiasco. A lot of people who watch us and follow us know that we are associated, with the Dead Files and Amy Allen. Well, this person got on Twitter and started slamming some group that had gone into a house and had done a house cleansing for them for 8 grand. Charged this family $8,000. Well, the way that she described it,
It was a famous person who had a television show.
and it was their team that was associated with said show
Mm-hmm.
that went and did the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guess who's the only team that has been outed on Twitter
Publicly.
publicly by the star of a show?
Face.
So it blew the fuck up. And, it was a complete fiasco.
Well, the thing was, most of our people who knew us knew better and was coming to the fucking rescue.
There were a bunch of people jumping in. No, it can't be those guys. They helped us out and never charged us that kind of bit. Or, those guys wouldn't do that. There was a lot of that. And then,
I actually did the math on the amount of those cases that we've done, and that amount of money for us again is life-changing money.
we we charge travel expenses and a hamburger, literally,
Put us up in a hotel room,
if we need
travel
it.
if we need it, travel, and a sandwich.
Seriously. It so, and then of course this person gets called out for it by more than just, our supporters, but actual peers
Mm.
of hers, and finally shuts up about it. Then, after 2 days worth of us getting slammed and having to do damage control to our reputation on Twitter,
As Dustin posts in the thing, spiritmechanics.com slash with the $8,000 t-shirts.
Yep.
That's the reason why we made that
that's
shirt.
the reason why we made the shirt. That's why that shirt is there.
I'll be
And-
redoing the design on it soon, but
But seriously, that is the reason why that shirt is there.
yeah.
She gets back on there and, well, I never knew it was going to go that far. I can't believe you guys did that. Tee didn't say anything to the contrary, just let people step all the hell over us. And then come to find out it was some team associated with a completely different show that had absolutely nothing to do with us. It was some show off of Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And
Well, when our friend, the benefactor, pretty much goes, "You need to shut the fuck up." The fuck up, she shut.
I've worked with these guys, I've trusted these guys, and literally, when he says benefactor, any case that we're called in on, she helps us with. Literally. So that we can get there as soon as we possibly can, and it still doesn't break the client.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of person she is. So, she's literally, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. It can't be these guys. And then, not 2 or 3 minutes later, literally, like looking at the watch, literally, silence. And I'm texting. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And our benefactor is literally,
I got it.
it's cool. You guys defended yourselves as you should have, and I've got you. And if this continues, I'll definitely have you. And at that point, it was, oh. And then I get a text message back a little bit later, and come to find out, it was this show that had absolutely nothing to do with us. It was some bullshit thing, and I mean,
Those are the exact words.
hmm it was just some bullshit post. Like, oh,
Fuck.
like, all right. Um. So yeah, that's the current joke. $8,000.
And just to let you guys know, those might be starting up again.
Which,
The her cases.
oh yeah.
Those are going to be starting up again soon. We don't know when. We don't know where.
Well, we have an idea.
Well, we don't know where.
Yeah, we don't know where. We just have an idea of when.
Yeah, we have an idea of when. We don't know where, but we might not be available for a little bit because of that.
Yelper.
So there might be stuff from the road, but we can't tell where we're going.
That. Because
That is one thing that we pride ourselves on big time is confidentiality. When we're told keep your mouth shut.
mouth is shut. Because that's the big thing. Doing those particular cases until they air, it's non-disclosure.
Well, we don't sign an agreement, but
It's still
we can get into a lot of trouble with that.
it is heavily implied that there is a non-disclosure.
It's heavily implied, but we don't sign any papers.
So I mean, technically we could, but
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
technically we could be sued. So
Yeah,
that's
very much. There's a fine line.
yeah. That
We're in this state.
we're 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 under a verbal non-disclosure.
That don't hold up in court, but that's still beside the point. Yeah, not like we would anyway.
No. And the only time we ever talk about someone, particularly someone, is if they give us express permission.
And even then, I'm still not going to your Ohio case or your New York case or your Philadelphia 1 or 2.
Yep. Yep.
Because there might. I'm looking to that time where we're there and they're like wanting to shove a camera in our face. You don't have the right to do that. What do you mean? I never signed a paper. He never signed a paper. No binding entity that owns Spirit Mechanics says that we signed a paper for you to do that. So if you do, I'm getting a lawyer.
Quick and in a hurry.
Mm-hmm. Hey Teresa Sayers, what's up?
Because that's one thing too. We're very private about the things that we do. Uh,
Like if we do an investigation, film that shit.
sure.
Film that shit.
If we're doing an actual paranormal investigation, go for it.
We're right there, do the damn thing.
Because we do the sensitive thing even as we fucking investigate. Cool. You want to see that bit of it? Awesome. But if we're helping somebody, if we're helping someone do the thing in their home, no, absolutely not. That's between us and them. And only between us and them.
Mm-hmm. We had one that was wanting to record us while we were in the process, and I was like, no, you're not. Or another one trying to get a hidden camera.
Oh, jeez, yeah. It's like, really? Just, really? Why? If you want to know about the process, ask.
That. If you want to know what we do, I'll tell you exactly what we do. Well, sort of.
Sort of. Trade secrets are trade secrets.
Mm-hmm.
And personal practice is personal practice, which goes into trade secrets. So that's the reason why we're kind of... Not even kind of. That's the reason why we're vague. When it comes to certain things.
I mean, as far like I said, if it's an investigation and we're with you and you want to film us do the damn thing with you,
get after it.
By God, do the fucking thing.
We're down.
This is now public.
Yeah, yeah, we're down. Do things.
If we're like when we did the Carnegie Building, I was expecting somebody to pull out their phone and start. There probably is video.
Actually, there is video of that.
So
A couple of them, because Nicole actually posted a video.
so as far as doing that, hell yeah.
Do things, yeah,
Which if we ever were to do a show, that probably what we would do
yeah.
is in, that kind of thing. As far as like investigating our brand of investigating, but as far as like the side thing that is spirit mechanics or the main thing that is spirit mechanics, no, we're not. Truthfully, honestly, it makes for boring ass television.
Truth. I mean,
Got it.
literally, because we're not into heavy theatrics. That's not a thing. If we're there to do a house cleansing, we're there to do a damn house cleansing.
Hey, Miss Kathy, what's up?
What it is, uh, for those just popping in, gotta say this again. Gonna say this until y'all are sick of it, and I'm already sick of it. Uh, if you want to get notifications of when we go live or when we post shit, you have to change your follow settings. If you don't, you won't see us, or it'll be random as hell if you do. The algorithm is set so that it will not put things intentionally into your newsfeed that you do not follow correctly.
You'll catch it randomly.
So, for those of you that didn't know, we stream on Tuesdays. We stream every Tuesday.
Yeah, we do more for our entertainment, but
But, y'all are in. And especially if we're doing. We've been doing Phasmophobia. We do like horror game playthroughs, paranormal game playthroughs, and post them onto the page's live streams. Well, the thing is that with games like Phasmophobia, you guys can get in on that too. That's why we do it. You guys can get the room code from us and play along with us in real time.
yeah, we can do the thing. Or if you want to make a guess on what the entity is as we're going, you can do that.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much what it is. It's literally what we do, but with technology
And blown out of proportion.
and blown out of the water, sort of.
Yeah. It's
So if that's something that you're interested in, watching me scream like a girl because I'm the only one that screams.
it's true. Actually, we got one. We got a we got a holy shit. What was it? 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that that made me happy. I'm sorry, man. It made me happy.
Well, the damn thing popped up like right in my face,
It did too. Wow.
and I went, "Fuck, nope, gone." I heard you gasp though.
I did.
It
Cause see that's the big thing is,
I'm a screamer.
whereas I'm not. So it's that whole thing of I'll gasp, but I'll hold my shit together until afterwards, and then I'll get the shakes. And I was laughing too fucking hard to get the shakes after that one, but it caught me because it did. It popped right up in our faces because we're doing this on Tuesdays.
And TV is a large TV, and the ambiance. We both have it in our headphones.
So it's 360-degree sound.
Mm-hmm.
The lights are down, the whole atmosphere thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when that just pop, right in your face, you can't help but have that reaction. It's fucking hilarious. But then, if Dustin is still in the comments section, I don't know if he is, but if he's watching, Dustin got Davis killed.
He sure did.
He sure did. Murdered. I'm gonna call it what it is.
Hey, Jason, I ain't seen you in a while, man. What's up?
Uh, we're investigating a school, and you can actually hide from the entity. So you duck down behind a corner or in a room, turn your light out, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody ducks into a room and crouches, turns the lights out. Well, Dustin thought that the entity was trying to get into the room with him and held the doorknob so that the door couldn't open. It was Davis on the other side trying to get into a room so he didn't get eat.
And you got 8.
He got ate. I, I fucking laughed until I cried.
We got one of ours that's usually in our chat, Stephen Tyree, and with us with Tiff's nephew Karma.
Yeah, that was that was the 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and then the man. So that's the kind of stuff we've been doing on. There might be some other ones that we do.
Yeah, I know you wanted to revisit Soma.
Yeah, we might do Soma, or I also can probably get a hold of Outlast.
Outlast is good. I didn't really care for the second one as much.
Yeah, me and Dustin tried to stream the second one. That was awful.
Yeah, I didn't care for it as much. First one would be pretty cool. I think a lot of people would like that.
Oh my gosh, Soma's good. Soma's a good game. It's sci-fi.
Yeah, but it's still got the horror aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, in that regard, we could do Alien Isolation.
Oh god.
Do the Xenomorph.
Oh. We like doing Friday the 13th. We might do that towards Scarefest.
Yeah, we actually got it,
Mm-hmm.
so we can do.
We might actually keep that intact and get a new copy, and then take that one to get Kane Hodder to sign.
I'm down.
Hell yeah. Go into the Spirit Mechanics memorabilia locker.
That was actually, speaking of Scarefest, that was one of my favorite fucking memories of the last time.
Last year.
Yeah, I wanted to say last year so bad. But the last time we did the thing, we went to um, throw axes. There's a place in Lexington where you actually throw fucking axes at a wooden target. And the way they do it is you throw axes with the horror celebrities. Get it? It's a joke. So
Throw axes with serial killer.
that's literally the thing.
Yeah, that's the theme.
So Kane Hodder's there, and he comes up, and he's actually a really cool dude. He was asking about how I got around and everything. I'm there with the cane. And I explain it to him. He's like, "That's awesome." And then he lets a blind joke slip. And you saw it on his face. Oh, fuck. What did I just do? Because we're sitting there and we're just having casual conversation. And he's talking with a bro. So he's going to razz me. And says the thing. And I'm like, dude, how fucking dare you? And I just kind of look, and I can't keep the smile from, not appearing on my face. But the beard was even bigger than it is now. And he couldn't tell that I was cheesing.
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "No, man, it's fuck cool." You you don't
Kane Hodder made a blind joke. Fuck.
Yeah, you can't tell blind jokes to a blind man. You don't need to be hanging out with a blind man. And that's exactly what I told him. So after that, it was pretty cool. I got pictures of him, quote unquote, putting me in strangleholds and shit. And I was like, so going down because we were right down the road from him.
We even got. Well, I think it was one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre dudes too.
Yeah, he was. It was us, then him, then Kane. Right in the row that we were in.
Yeah, there was another one. Steve Napier. I don't remember what he played in. That was the other one that was there. That's another one of the celebrities. It was Kane Hodder, the dude who played Texas Chainsaw, and then Stephen Napier. I can't remember what he played in. I'm gonna look that up.
And then it was us.
Yeah.
But we'd go walking down the aisle there and just give each other shit. The entire event and just give each other shit. I was like, that's just fucking cool. He's a pretty good dude. He's a pretty solid dude. At least from what we know. He's a pretty solid dude.
No, Nappy. Steve Nappy. He played in. I'm trying to think of the old one. He was. Hold on a second.
Yeah, we'll be doing the thing as best we can. Trying to make sure. Teresa says she's going to throw her an axe.
Get
God,
after it.
God help us all. Actually, you'll probably do pretty great. Um, but yeah, they've got it set up. So it's set up a lot like darts. You stand behind the line. They show you how to throw it properly. Of course, you got to sign a waiver for obvious reasons because they are legitimate axes. Heave ho. Um, don't throw shit with Ethan. Do not throw shit with Ethan. I'll tell you the reason why. That's because Ethan's strength modifier is through the roof, and
You wouldn't think it for that little of a dude.
there is zero dex. There's no finesse to that motherfucker. I love him to death, but when you huck a throwing knife so hard that you embed the handle of it into a piece of wood that is that thick, and you split it. Dude, you cool? Yeah, why? Look at that shit. Are you cool?
What are you talking about, man? I just stuck it in. Go over there and fucking look at it. Oh,
Yeah, we're
dude, you natural 20 on the motherfucker.
yeah, we're all literally freaking out because they've got you set up in teams. So each team has their own, their own celebrity, and everybody, what the fuck, man? Just all the way down the rows.
All of ours, actually, Renee, is usually a Ure.
Uh, yeah.
A lot of ours has been a Ure, which is ass.
Yeah, it's Urays or Wraiths
Mm-hmm.
is usually what we wind up with. We got a spirit at
And a
one point.
Banshee
And a
last
Banshee.
night.
Was it a Banshee?
Yeah, it was Spirit and a Banshee, and then the last one was a Ure. We didn't get it right.
Gotcha. But yeah, yeah. It it's just fun stuff. Hey, we actually got a lot of our regulars tonight. How about that? Um, we're just. I think we're speaking probably out of turn, but I think we're both happy that shit is getting back to at least what can be considered normal. Life as usual.
That was a bunch of. And we've talked about this several times before. There was a bunch of stuff that got pushed back because of everything that happened.
I mean,
We would have been in a honestly, and this is me being honest with you, we would have been in a completely different place than where we are now.
we're
Truthfully, we probably wouldn't have been ready for it.
no. That's just being legit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hey Keith, what's up?
what it is. I'm gonna start calling him Corn Pone.
Nah,
Why
Otter Dog.
not? Otter Dog.
DAWG, Otter Dog.
Dog. So is that anything like a bird dog?
Kinda.
Kinda.
Depends on which part of the state you're in.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, as far as like stuff that would have happened, it would have been a completely different situation this year than it would have been. Um, there was a lot of lessons that we both needed to go through. Truthfully, going through the quarantines, um, we were able to actually work through some of our shit.
Well,
Find healthy coping mechanisms.
I mean, what else was there to do? I mean,
You're
that's
not on the road and you can't hide behind. You don't have a mask now to fucking hide with it.
yeah, that was my biggest thing was I didn't have the caseload that I'm used to
Mm-hmm.
because I'm one of those that if I have work, that consumes me. I'm just going to be honest. So it not having that type of work and the work that we did have was over video from my living room. And it's I okay, all right. We're going to have this week where I lose my fucking mind and then after that we're going to get over it and figure out why I lost my fucking mind. So,
I went through.
what's up?
I'm gonna come back to your question here in a second, but I'm gonna finish my thought. Um, depends on how many times you've had. I'll just go ahead and answer you right now. If you had a vision of something bad happened to someone, they should take it seriously. Am I right? Depends on how many times you've had the vision and if it's emotionally charged or not.
That.
If it's emotionally charged, it's not a vision.
Nope.
It's a anxiety. It's the brain trying to fill in the blanks with the emotion. If you take our classes, that's stuff you actually learn with us. As far as like our 101, our especially our 102 class.
Yeah.
But you take the 102 class, you got to do the 101, and we're not doing another one until the end of the year.
Yeah. We will be revisiting the at least the first three. Davis is actually working on a part four, but that's going to come in later.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
that one is going to be some stuff.
now, yeah, that one's only for the hardcore into it. And we're being very honest.
Serious.
Because the 103 is going to be pretty stout. It's going to be mostly workshop, but it's still going to be very stout.
Mm-hmm.
Davis's? Whew. Now that's going to be some info. That is going to be an info dump.
Yeah. This is not a workshop. This is, hey, this is how this shit works.
This is 100% the mechanics of these particular things.
Yeah.
So that'll be a part four. Uh, we might be doing his coming up in the next little bit. I know definitely with the next set that we do at the end of the year, his will be the part four to that. So his will be the 201.
Yeah. Yeah. We're going into college by that point.
Yep. We're going past base metaphysics to direct metaphysics.
Yeah, we're hitting some college course study.
Professor Davis.
Yeah.
But
You think you think we try to those who have taken our class, you think we us explaining it it's complicated? No.
you don't know. No.
We're learning directly from him some stuff. We're technically masters in our own right in our own particular branches of metaphysics. And we're learning from him
Yep.
some other methods and some other teachings. So if that tells you something, Davis is learning from him.
Yupper. Which is a completely different beast than doing the ones that we do for you guys with Discord. You know,
No, there isn't a video where you can watch it to catch up. That's something you've got to do because there's a lot of hands on. Um, that's a lot of hands-on, like actual application of learning, as opposed to here's the information, figure it out.
Right.
Here we try to provide examples as best we can.
So it's real time interactive. You will be participating because each one, yes, there is an information dump, but then there is real time application for that. You will be doing exercises during the classes.
I'll put it to you like this one: the 103, I'm going to be auditing.
Yep, yep. This is where you guys get to see me as a teacher. Get ready for that.
Well, you've been doing a lot of the teaching, especially with the 102. I got stuck because it was a spot that I just didn't fucking remember. Just to be honest with you, it's
Yeah,
I go down my path and I'm gone down my path. Stuff just
yeah, we
so I'm actually taking this one with you all.
and as we teach and discuss these things with you, it's a recap of the fundamentals for us
Mm-hmm.
because what we're teaching you now are the same things that we learned before.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in in order to be a master of anything, you should always master the fundamentals first, because then you don't know what the fuck's happening when something goes right. Laughing at both of us actually,
Mm-hmm.
because I did it just as bad, just in a different
I
way.
blanked out on that one particular topic. I'm like,
What do I do? Okay, so what we're gonna do is this.
where are we at? Which part?
But it is honestly, it is very important that you do take them in succession. That way you can learn our terminology for things, as well as your own personal way of connecting in the different ways that we teach. Um, because it all literally culminates at this 103.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so if you got it together for the 101 and the 102, cool. If you want to give it a shot, we're not going to turn you away, but we're also not recapping the first two classes.
And the gloves go off in the 103.
Yeah, that one's no joke. This one is saying how you actually work with what it is that you have learned thus far.
And you get to figure out your own label.
Yup. That's
That thing that everybody's been wanting since 101.
that's the reason why it's so important. Well, what is it that I actually do? You're gonna find out for yourself.
You got to do it.
We can help you understand what it is that you do, but you're the one that has to accept what it is that you do. So that's literally what the 103 is about. You know the two different types of connectivity. You now have an understanding of flow. Now we're putting it into fucking practice, and you're gonna do the damn thing proper.
Jenny Tubb says, "Ooh, the label. That thing that everybody wants to spend thousands of dollars on with people to figure it out. You've got to figure it out. It's for you to figure out. It's not for somebody to tell you."
Some anybody worth their salt can say that you have tendencies toward things because they're obvious. Well, a tendency is something that you obviously show to the outside world. Does that mean that's what you do or are? No. It means it's a part of your process because you do it every day. A label is not actually a label. If you treat it as a label, you're doing it wrong.
Steve got my number on that.
A label is something that the outside world gives you to classify you as something so that they can understand it.
Mm-hmm.
However, a title is something that you give yourself. That is something that you have because you finally understand and accept what it is that you are. There's a big difference. So that is the goal of literally these three classes. That is the goal.
It's like this. We've talked about it before. Steve claims alchemy as his thing.
That's not what I do.
No, I claim medicine man as my thing. It's not what I do. It's for me. It's an easier process because it's just a part of the process. It's easier for people to understand it when I say I'm a medicine worker. That's it.
And it's the same thing with me. My brand of alchemy is something completely different. It's not typical energy alchemy. The understanding that you get from an energy alchemist, and me as an alchemist, is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
Because my brand of alchemy isn't exactly alchemy. It just comes across that way because I facilitated change. So, what's the easiest way to explain it? Well, it's energy alchemy. I take this thing, I break this thing down into its key components, I create something new from those. It is alchemy. At its core, that's what it is. So, you know.
Mm-hmm. I'm a medicine worker. I take things into myself and break it down, and then give it back as something different.
Alchemy. What I do is classified as alchemy, but it is not alchemy. What he does is classified as medicine work, but is actually alchemy. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
Yeah, I have tendencies. We talked about that before. He has tendencies. We talked
Mhm.
about that before. It's like when I do soul fragment retrieval. Am I really going and doing a soul fragment retrieval? Partially. Do I do the process that a shaman does? No. I do not have the attunements that a shaman has. I've never had that calling to have those attunements because that's exactly what that is.
Oh yeah, that is a change of life. That is a course of life.
Yeah, that is what you do. You are a shaman. That is a 100% no doubt. That's what you are going to be. You were predetermined to be that. I hate to say that, but yeah, that's exactly what happens with that particular life set. And that's another term that is exactly what it is. It's a life set. Some people live it in a different routes. They don't go and do the thing like everybody else does. Like my father-in-law. My father-in-law is a shaman. That is his life set. I've seen some shit with that man that has made me go, yeah, you're 100% a shaman. That was something that was given to him as a child.
And that is a very important distinction.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that was given. There are certain things. Predestined isn't a word that I like, but that one, it's more hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
It's a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Shamanism is literally a legacy. It is passed down through bloodline and taught.
Mm-hmm. Like hedge witches, it's passed down. You can't just learn to be a hedge witch. Doesn't work like that.
Nope. That is a natural gift.
So when I do soul fragment retrieval, I don't have the attunements to handle it properly. I use alchemy in order for me to facilitate it correctly. I can't. They can physically hold a soul fragment in their hand. I cannot do that.
You just literally chip it off and hold it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like with my alchemy. The closest thing that anybody has actually come to call it is Davis, and he actually calls it Dragon Reiki. But he flat out tells everybody it is a Reiki that is specific to Steve, and it was something that was given.
Hey Denise, what's up?
So it's those kinds of things, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what we're leaning towards with the 103, finding your inherited gifts,
Mm-hmm.
the way that you do things that is natural to you.
Mm-hmm.
You have the tools now. We're gonna use them.
We learned that the 102 is about connection. That's the biggest part of 102. How to actually properly connect and be in a still mind and being able to return to there every single time. We're cracking jokes and making fun and doing the thing and being stupid and being goofy. It's a part of the teaching. It's part of the training. You got to be able to do it when it matters to do it.
You know, it, everybody asks why we do that, why we go on tangents when we're teaching, or why we joke around. Well, the big thing is that, especially in those moments when we are teaching, those are purposeful. Okay, well this person is focusing way too hard on this.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid joke, blah 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 blah. So anyway, what we were talking about was
Mm-hmm.
there's a hiccup long enough for the process to start over. Thing and thing and thing. Oh,
That was funny. What was I doing again? Oh, it's this.
how did I do that? Well, let's think about what we were talking about before. You walk me through it. What did you do? And for those who have taken the 102 and even the 101, what do we usually, especially the 102,
What did you do? How'd you do it?
how'd you do it? How did you do this thing? What did it feel like to you to do this thing?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a it's a common misconception that you have to start with a specific brand of metaphysics. Because a lot of people, when they start, they go into Wicca or some form of witchcraft because it's what's abundant. It's what's out there the most accessible, the most accommodating. It's the most mainstream in a lot of cases. Because let's face it, we're that generation, or at least we have kids that are that generation. For some of you who grew up watching Practical Magic, grew up watching The fucking Craft. I'm over that movie. You know, things of that nature
Mm-hmm.
that involved witchcraft and hoodoo and things of that nature. So I wonder how this actually works.
Mm-hmm.
But then, well, this just doesn't appeal to me. A couple years down the road, this just doesn't appeal. I'm not getting anywhere with this.
Yep.
And they read every book that they can on it. And that's the thing. When you do that, you run dry quick.
Mm-hmm.
Very quick. That candle gets snuffed out very fucking quick. Because you find out that all the material that you read is literally the same.
It's just different words, different interpretations, different. And I've talked about it before on these. That's where I went when I first figured out. All right, the clairs. We talked about the clairs. The clairs are really strong. I need to figure out how to work it. So I read everything. I read witchcraft. I read books on spirit communication.
Oh,
I
yeah.
read books on. I've read like four different Cunningham books. I read like
Cunningham is good, by the way, as a reference.
yeah, oh yeah. As far as like I can't remember what the particular brand of Wicca it is. Gardenia
Gardania.
uh brand of Wicca. I mean, as far as like this is how the material is, as opposed to their opinion on the material. That's you see that a lot with witchcraft.
Yeah.
Silver Raven Wolf and Mara. Um, bunch of other ones like that. You start getting into the same cycles, the same repeating things, and you're like, well, how do I develop it? There's nothing in them to develop what we're teaching.
We get to this point. They all take me to this particular point, and then it's literally all the same.
Mm-hmm.
And the big thing is that you usually find after you do that, because let's just face it, anybody who is currently in metaphysics did that. It's literally like going to college without a fucking plan. You're like, well, maybe I'll do this for a couple of semesters. Well, I really don't care for that. Well, maybe I'll do this for a couple of semesters. Really don't want to do that either.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't fit with me. And then you find that one major that's like, that's fucking cool.
Mm-hmm.
I can see myself doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what this is. We're taking the middleman out.
We're not teaching anything about candle magic. We're not
No.
teaching anything about associations.
Nope.
We're not teaching anything about esbats and sabbats. We're not teaching anything about holidays. We're not teaching anything about ritual.
Nope.
This is what an intention is.
We are teaching base metaphysics. This is shit that you can take, and it will literally apply to any, and I do mean this when I say it, any practice.
Yep.
It will apply to any practice that you choose.
Do you want to do shamanism? If you have the calling for it, you can apply the same shit. If you want to do Wicca and you want to do the thing, you can apply the same stuff. If you want to do Celtic witchcraft, it'll work. If you want to do Egyptian, which I don't recommend, but if you have the thing that you want to do it, it'll do it.
Yeah.
If
And that's kind of the thing. The idea behind these classes is so that you guys don't spin your wheels. We're giving you tools that you can start with to develop your gifts, and then you can decide which path you want to take.
if you want to take a path,
Some people are solitary practitioners that just, do the thing the way they do the thing.
I want to be able to learn how to just read people.
Cool.
There's those too. Just a person who is quote unquote psychic.
Yeah.
They do exist.
Actually, yes, they do.
You can be just sensitive. You don't have to have a metaphysical practice to go with it.
Nope.
You want to be new agey and just use the freaking law of attraction. That's a part of this too.
Actually, we do go into it. That's the point. It's explaining the basics that you would get anywhere in a digestible way, and then showing you how it actually works in real time.
Yep.
So that you can do this shit on your own anytime.
Mm-hmm. We got, asked, specific reading materials and things like that. There's not really reading materials on it. There's stuff on specifics on particular meditations on focusing on specific chakras. There's meditations on visualization. There's meditations on on a variety of different things. There's not really a thing on how to develop clairvoyance. There's spirit communication. There's a book. It's called Cunningham's Book of Spirit Communication. It's a red book. You can go and buy it from Amazon right now, and it tells you all the different types of spirit communication.
But it doesn't tell you how to do the thing.
It gives you a base method on auto writing or pendulum work or the base theory behind seances and shit like that. It's base stuff. It's not the actual practice.
Here's what you need to set these things up.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the information that you need to know in order to set it up correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's good, but what do I do with it now that it's set up?
It's the same way with associations. when you're doing elemental association or planetary association, what do those actually mean? Well, you have to get another book in order to understand what the associations means. And then you have to get another book.
In order to do the deep dive so that you not just know what the associations mean, but what they mean to you.
I mean,
It's
there's even meditations on tarot.
actually, yeah.
You want to get into some weird, WYRD, weird? Um, do the Rider Waite meditations. Get a deck of Rider Waite cards and meditate on one card a month.
oh my goodness, that shit. Because
That
that's where you're getting into hermetics.
is some deep dive shit.
Yo, that's where you're getting into some hermetic alchemy.
I mean, and that's public knowledge stuff that you can
Mm-hmm.
find books on every damn where. And not like we're giving you a hidden secret.
No,
That one you can literally find it any damn where. But I mean, there's symbolism in the cards. They put those symbols in those cards for a reason.
yes they do. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
It's the reason why the Rider Waite deck is still one of the most used, even though it's one of the oldest.
It's like the High Priestess card and the Rider Waite deck. It is a woman who's in a flowing gown, sitting down. Moon's behind her, and she's standing between a black and a white pillar. What does that mean? It means that she is non-polarized. She is not caught between two opinions. That hidden things are being revealed to her by not being polarized. That's I'm giving you a free one that you can find in any of them.
The moon in the background shows empowerment not just to women, but to the goddess energy directly,
Mm-hmm.
which deals directly with intuition.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, when the High Priestess card comes out in the Rider Waite deck, that means your intuition is not going to be blocked and that you will need to fucking trust it. Because it will not be leaning one way or the other, it will be leaning towards your best interest.
The Rider Waite meditation.
That it's legit.
I mean, we've also had some that are like, "Can you give us an outline of the class itself?" Just ask.
Just ask us.
Ask the question. And if we don't know, honest to God, and I'm being fucking dead serious, if we don't know, when you ask us the question, we will find a fucking answer somewhere.
We'll either find someone that's got it, we'll find a resource, we'll learn with you. If
Mm-hmm.
we don't know, we're going to figure it out together.
Damn right.
You know, that's.
There's a multitude of people that we can call and be like, "Hey, we had somebody that has this question. I don't know the answer to it. What do you think?"
You got an idea? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. No, I don't think I know, but I think I'm. Here's this source of material.
Cool. Let's get after it, you know.
I mean, if I have to pull a friend of mine, I have a friend of mine that does specifically hermetics. If I have to ask those kinds of questions,
You know, and that's the thing. The classes, these live streams, this kind of stuff, it's specifically for that. You know, ask your questions. If you feel like you need a moment, say that. Hey, I need a moment to take this in. I need a moment to catch up on notes. I need a moment for you to explain this particular thing. You know, I don't quite understand the terminology. Cool. We're sitting here in real time. Absolutely, take your moment. Absolutely, we'll explain it. That's what it's for. It's an open forum classroom. Both these and the actual classes, they're open forum for a reason. It's the reason why we do them in live video chat.
What's another good like beginner resource? I mean, as far as like if you're wanting to, I'm debating on here in the next maybe before we do the redo of the 103. Maybe before we do the redo of the 103, I haven't talked to Steve about it yet. I'm thinking about doing a gridding class. Actually showing y'all how to grid. Well, you've got to go through the other stuff in order to understand intention and energy flow and movement.
Because it's important to gridding.
It's extreme. It's the only thing to gridding.
You can't just with gridding. Usually if you're picking stones for the day that you need, the stone that looks pretty is usually the one that you need that day.
Mm-hmm.
If you're gridding, you'll fuck yourself if you do it that way.
These look pretty. Oh my god!
Yep.
I wanted to choke them.
That particular person, once again, we won't name names. This particular person was teaching a gridding class, and everybody wound up drained and with migraines. Everyone that was in it, literally.
And the only reason why I did it is because we did it first, and he wanted to ride the coattail.
And then
Didn't know how to do it
at all. Well, I just chose the ones that look pretty. This looks cool with that, and that looks cool with that.
These are all redstones. They look great together. You're an idiot. No,
don't fucking do that, man.
that's not how gridding works. You cut. It's. I'll go into it when we actually do the gridding class. It's if you have stones, it's very hands on. You'll get it as we go. And it won't be it's not going to be a $40 class.
No.
It's going to be it's going to be one of our cheaper ones, but at the same time too, I mean, there's going to be a lot of work you're going to be doing as we're doing. I'm not going to I'll explain certain processes.
Actually, you may want to wait until after we're done with this and give people a list of stones that you will be using.
Okay.
That way they can get them if they do not have them.
Okay, we can do that. Quartz are your best friend. Any form of it.
Especially starting out with grids.
Yeah. Any form of fucking quartz. Amethyst, citrine, carnelian, fucking sodalite. That's actually a quartz.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the manufactured ones like blue quartz, not blue quartz,
Aqua Aura.
aqua aura quartz. Actually, blue quartz is another one that's a good one. Any quartz is good stones. Black ones,
Rose quartz.
yeah, rose quartz,
Smoky quartz.
mm-hmm. Smoky quartz. The main quartzes, what we're going to do primarily, but might add some black ones like onyx, obsidian, things like that. Hematite.
Yeah. Throw some hematite in there and make it fun.
Hematite's a good one to have anyway. If you're not a chaotic leaning person.
Fucking John.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I love you, old Schaefer. Goddamn. What do we got? We've missed a bunch of comments.
No, we haven't.
Oh, we haven't?
Yeah, I answered Denise, and Melanie just asked, will Class 3 teach me how to not feel other people's physical problems? Probably not. That's part of the way your gift works.
Yep. Besides that,
I'm going to actually, this one, there's going to be a specific thing on cycling. And that's probably going to be the first thing we learn.
Yep. Because that's the last thing. Now that we know how to connect, the very first part of the class is actually going to be taught on what to do with it. The last part of the class, which is going to be the bulk of it, is going to be you guys doing the thing in real time.
Yeah, we're going to learn. I'm going to teach you how to cycle.
Because we went over cycling.
Mm-hmm.
And to a certain extent, we actually did cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in the first class. However, I think there needs to be not just cycling, but refinement cycling.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so we're going a deep dive with cycling. Cycling, for those that don't know, is literally taking in energy, processing it, sending it back, and allowing it to flow repeatedly.
And not stick.
Nope. It is a natural flow. It's literally like the wind hitting you, moving around you.
You are a water hose with water running through you. You have no kinks.
Nope.
If you have a kink, hope you have fun with it. I mean,
But
no, if there's a kink in the hose, you're gonna get specific things that hit like that. I have to. This is one of the ones that I have to. That's the reason why I practice a lot. I have to constantly cycle, or I will get my entire fucking apartment building's worth of emotional content.
which usually results in, dude, you cool?
No,
Is that yours?
probably not.
Get the fuck rid of it.
Working on it.
Cool.
Been working on it for 4 days. I'm trying. And then I just shut the fucking world out while I do it. Nothing's allowed in.
No.
Not just no, but fuck no to everything. Everything. This is fucking Fort Knox, and I have a tank.
It's that whole thing of, when the white noise hits and you're like, no, silence. That particular thing, once it's used, and this is just something open, talking to you guys. That particular intention, once it's used, is a very interesting situation.
Yeah.
No, silence. And you can hear a pin drop, both spiritually and physically. I need to focus on this fucking thing, and both worlds,
Needs to shut the fuck up.
no, be silent.
Shut your ass.
Fuck yourself, up yourself, and go that way. I need quiet.
I love that. That one's one of my favorite ones to do, actually, because it never stops. It never stops. I've come to learn, this is actually an interesting thing. I've come to learn that I have to actually, I know that this is a scientifically proven thing, but I need natural light more often, or I start getting really bad as far as my mental state.
Oh, yeah.
But what's weird, probably like you could probably do this
Mm.
because you're blind.
Hmm.
You can feel the light turn off.
Yeah.
So when the light frequency goes away, you can feel that.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
I can almost tell what time of day it is
hmm
without having my eyes open to anything else. I can actually feel the difference in
the presence of
photonic energy.
yeah, the presence of light specifically. That's something that's been new recently, and I've been going on a lot more walks. Well, it's not new. I've ignored the hell out of it.
It's uncomfortable at first. It
Oh no,
really is.
it's not like this has been since I was a kid.
That's what I'm saying, though. At least for me, it was uncomfortable once I
Yeah,
realized. But uh,
colors of light actually do fucking matter.
yes, they do. They do provide a certain, and that's actually,
Physiological.
yeah, it's scientifically proven and psychologically proven that certain types of light, even the type of paint, the color of paint on your walls,
Hmm.
makes a difference.
Hmm.
That's the reason why a lot of places are actually painted white. So, because it's a non-polarizing color.
Hmm. It's all of them. I love, especially walking around with a bunch of grass because you would think that they're green, they're absorbing green light. They're not, they're reflecting it. So that green light feels very good to me.
Shock.
I know, right?
Okay.
I know.
Gotta give you shit, man.
It's fine.
Give me shit. Fuck.
It's like blue skies. That particular reflection of light.
Blue is one of mine.
Mm-hmm. But sky blue specifically, is very, very, very calming.
It's actually the color that's most associated with energetic healing as well. Shocker again.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's one of those things of light is very important. It's very important for a number of reasons. You know, we've talked about exactly why light is important with science and the thing in very excruciating detail, but it's actually very important to me. You know, we talked about that before, that particular reasoning, but it's what I get from it because light actually speaks to you, legitimately speaks to you, because light is a communicative tool.
How do atoms communicate with each other? Through photons,
Which are light particles.
which is the same size as an electron. How do you have fiber internet? It's the transmission of photons.
You are literally getting your internet beamed to you through light.
It's not electric current. It's not an electron. It's not electrons moving, like it is with like coax or Ethernet. It converts it at the box for your shit to have an electron signal, which is electricity, electrons. It's electron moving. The box converts it from photon information to electron information.
We go from point A to point B in a second.
Mm-hmm.
And then once we hit point B, we go from B to C as an electrical current.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the signal. Cool. Now we got to decipher it and allow them to use it. And it's the same thing. I use light as a communicative tool.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look at light sources, you know, you guys see me glance, especially if we're at events and things like that. If I'm talking and I glance up, you know, I start doing what a lot of people call my Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder thing. Because I do. I'll do that, literally.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing is I'm actually not just feeling out the light, but I'm looking at it as well. I'm allowing it to talk to me because it talks to you.
Notice the physical and the mental sensation that you have when you turn your lights out.
Seriously.
I'm not joking. Try that.
Some of you, it's going to be cool. For others that actually pay attention, it's going to freak you out. And that knee-jerk reaction is going to be, maybe I'll turn that back on for a minute.
Just photons. It's just photons.
It's just photon. It's just rate.
Because there's sometimes when we're doing the thing with, I can't do it right now, but when we're doing the game on Tuesday nights, we have the lights to a color.
Yeah.
We'll have usually it's red, but this last time it was purple. I actually liked it better.
Technically, it was indigo.
Whatever.
Which is purple with more blue. But yeah, that, and that's the idea.
You know how heat travels? Through photons.
What's the main topic of conversation right now?
Why is it when you turn your burner on, the electrical current causes it to glow? Is it the electrical current that's causing it to glow? No, it's the release of photons.
Yay, science.
And the release of photons causes heat.
Yay, physics. So, keeping that in mind, how about this shit? Now, here's the cool part. So, you have the analogy. Here's the electrical current going into the burner. It glows and releases heat. Here is the energy coming in from the universe. I begin to glow as my aura forms. I release that as fucking Reiki, which produces heat. Isn't that fucking cool? Love that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Science can prove what it is that you fucking do. Legitimately. I dig it. That's the reason why alchemy actually appeals to me the way that it does. Energy alchemy is bridging the gap between metaphysics and actual physics. You are a metaphysical scientist. Your goal is to prove that both exist. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, they both exist. And it's cool when it fucking happens.
What is light? Light, really, honestly, does not have a fucking color. It's perceived that way because your eyes see it that way. But really, your eyes have 3 color receptors. And depending on the shade of light, is what you see. Does light really have a color? It's just processing information in your brain.
What do we got for comments?
Heath said, I like purple. Renee said, purple is so pretty.
Purple is pretty.
Well, it's like black. Does black really exist? No, it's just the absence of brightness.
Yep.
Not even the absence of light, it's the absence of brightness. You can have a color that is rainbow colored and it's not bright, it'll be black.
It's the reason why you see moonbows as a grayscale.
Mm-hmm.
Moonbows are beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
Silver, gray, very, very extremely dark blue, even black.
Deep diving with y'all tonight, yo.
Woo! Metaphysics and physics. See, this is the kind of shit that that we wind up talking about, just randomly, and but that's what makes it worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
It's the pursuit of understanding.
Trying to figure shit out.
Yeah.
Why does it work? How does it work? Why does it work that way? Why does it work that way every time? Can it work this way? I love those questions. Steve hates it when I start asking them.
Can it work this way? Yes. Well, how does that work through this convoluted ass way? But it works.
Cool. I'm gonna try to figure it out.
Awesome. Here's where you start, man.
Cool.
And
I figured it out, but here's this other way to try and do it. And it actually works and it's not as taxing.
cool. Will I ever use either of those methods?
Probably not.
That. But now we know.
Mm-hmm.
So that when someone goes, well, I do the thing this way, we're like, we get it.
Yep.
Cool.
Experimentation.
Yeah. So this is how you work, and this is how this works for you. So I can at least understand your process so that I won't get in your way while I'm doing the thing. Or vice versa. So, it just comes in, that whole understanding of learning, it comes back in because we all learn from each other.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, somebody knows a lot about this thing doesn't mean anything.
I love listening to people explain the process.
Exactly. It's fucking fascinating
That,
because, you get into your own process, and a lot of times you either get stuck or you don't necessarily get bored or burnt because that's just the way you work,
mm-hmm.
but it becomes routine.
Mm-hmm. Actually, Denise, to answer your question, she said been super depressed here lately. After my awakening, I was kind of a new, kind of happy. Is that normal? Yes, it's very normal.
Actually, yes.
And don't be sorry, you asked a legitimate question. He was just in the process of talking, and I was waiting until he was finished.
Never, 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 ever, never, ever, ever, never, fucking ever apologize for asking a question. Period. And that's to anybody.
Mm-hmm. Ask you questions. Shit.
Seriously. You know, everybody is a novice in some way. So to think that you're not,
Uh-huh. I'm just sitting here thinking of where I'm relearning with Davis.
exactly. Same thing with me. He's going in a different way with me than he is with you.
Mm-hmm.
I have an understanding of essence, so he's working with a different aspect with me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's that whole thing of it's a new it's a new avenue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a completely different thought process and a different process altogether as far as energetic work that I've never done before.
Same.
So it's that whole thing of, well, fuck, going back to school,
Yeah.
and you never stop learning. There's always going to be something you know nothing about, always. So and I brought this up during the quick word. You guys are one of the most non-toxic and most awesome communities as far as metaphysics, or even as far as social media, that I've ever experienced. Because if we don't catch the question in enough time, or if we don't know the fucking answer, one of you catches it and answers it. Hey, here we go. I got you. You know, this is the thing. This is how this works.
Yep.
That's like, fuck yes. Because then we all learn it.
Mm-hmm. It's like maybe we're learning with Davis right now. It's a lot of it's communication issue, more so than it is the process.
It's that extreme language barrier.
Yeah, there's a language barrier between Shannon Nolan. Love the vibes from y'all. We appreciate it.
Very much so.
I mean, we try to we try not to be dicks. It's just-
we're never dicks, but we are assholes. If that helps.
We're blunt as a ball bat with love, wrapped in barbed wire.
Mine's just duct tape.
It's duct tape.
Yeah.
It's soft. It doesn't leave bruises.
No, if I was gonna do that, actually, mine's more like a sack of oranges.
A sack of oranges.
Yeah, I'll beat you to death with the information, but it won't leave an external bruise.
I mean, as far as like learning with Davis, it's like there is a language barrier. There's certain things that I can converse back and forth with him on. There's other things that I go, I have no idea what the fuck you just said. Those words don't mean a dick to me. Can you explain it in a different way? Or it's I need a little bit of structure with this. particular mindset as far as like exercise. I need parameter.
It,
If you're going to give me an exercise, I need to know, all right, what am I working towards or where am I going with it? That way I have a goal.
and it's one of those things of Davis teaches differently and similarly to me.
Mm-hmm.
It we both do the same thing up to a certain point.
God. The fucking live stream last night, Stephen Davis, that unholy abomination.
Oh my god.
Where you ask him a question and he answers in 16 different riddles.
Yep. You can't get a fucking straight answer. No, and see that's the thing is that with both of us you do.
Yeah.
You get a very direct and honest answer. We answer your question exactly the way you asked it. Notice how I put that.
I haven't figured out his key.
See with me, where he learned directly under me, he learned very quick. It's like Steve didn't mean that. He meant this.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we had that same conversation. Dude, why do you always speak in riddles? Well, I don't.
Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't speak in riddles.
He Yoda's the hell out of. No, he doesn't Yoda the hell out of you unless he starts going into philosophy. And then it's open ended.
Yep.
And that's for you to fucking figure out.
Yep.
And it's both of them. As far as that. Both him.
And that's where we're the same. Because we teach the philosophy along with the application.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to have the mindset to go with what it is we teach. If you don't, you're going to be confused as fuck.
Yep.
And the reason why a lot of people think that we tell riddles is because they don't accept the philosophy. And instead of admitting that, they try to force their way through it so that they can learn the cool shit.
Ask the actual question.
That one, for those who learn under me, you will hate that.
Ask the actual question. Ask the actual fucking question.
He heard that until he did, and then he's like, oh.
Ask the actual question.
Think, like, go ahead and let's give him a for instance.
Oh, shit. I'm having to deep dive back 7 years, man.
Well, I mean, just starting from a beginning point, like what they would do.
Okay, let's see.
This is for Jenny Tubb.
Mm-hmm.
Hint, hint. Not so big hint. Extremely big hint.
I'll just ask it like this one. How's clairvoyance work?
Okay. Now, are you asking about clairvoyance in the application, or are you asking about clairvoyance in the generalized
Generalized.
understanding? Okay. Then ask the actual question.
See?
Did I actually, pass him off? No. What I'm teaching at that particular point was for him to be specific and actually mean what it is that he says and asks.
Mm-hmm.
I am literally conditioning intention building. This is what I actually need to know, Steve, because that's how it is now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man, this thing in particular.
I'm working on this project. I need a second opinion. This is how this project works. What do you think?
Cool. All right. Here's the thing from this standpoint. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, that doesn't really answer my question. Let me think about it in a different way. This.
Okay. In that particular sense. Blah 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 blah.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Cool.
That's anymore when we're bouncing back and forth on theory or bouncing back and forth on technique or even a different type of thing. That's the actual conversation.
Yeah. And A lot of it has to do with the way that I was taught, number one. And number two, it has a lot to do with my particular process.
Hmm.
There are certain things with my gift, and this is the shit part of my gift. There are certain limitations. The law of equivalency is a real thing, not equivalent exchange. This isn't fucking anime. The law of equivalency is a legitimate thing, meaning the equation has to be balanced. However, it doesn't mean that they are equal parts. Just because you have a handful of this and a handful of this doesn't mean it's equal. In alchemy, that particular understanding, you have a literal ton weight and you have a ton of feathers. Which do you have more of? In alchemy, you have more feathers. They weigh the same, but you have more feathers. It is not the same understanding. So, in order for me to actually tell people directly, I have to tell them directly in a way that they will not accept. Because it is actually something that they already fucking know. I tell you things that you already know about yourself. I tell you things that you already know about your practice. What makes it sound like a riddle is because you deny it.
Whereas with me, I speak a lot with illusion.
Visualization.
Hmm. See it. This is how this works. This is how this is going to work. See it this way. Maybe you should look at it in a different way. I teach differently. How does this make you feel when you think about this particular thing? I, I'm just going to ask you the question back to you. How does that make you feel?
Different.
I'm very, very, very direct.
Yeah. And see that's the thing. It all comes down to the type of direct.
Hmm.
He is direct verbally in an aggressive way, but in an emotional way, he's very passive.
Hmm.
Whereas I'm the other way around. Emotionally, I'm very aggressive. Okay, let's get it done. Let's go. Let's do. But the way I explain it is very passive. Because the idea with both of us is it's about that free flow thought.
You fill in the blanks for yourself. This is how this works. How does it make you feel when it does? I'm not telling you how you should feel. I'm not telling you what you should see. Think of it like this. It's like moving, it's like picking up a baseball. Immediately you think of baseball. Well, what color is the baseball?
Well, baseball's white with red stitches, right?
Baseball is white with red stitches, is it? Does that feel that way? No, the baseball is blue with white stitches. How does it make you feel when you hold that? Why is it working like that? Why do you do that? Why are you doing this? Why does it work this way or that way? I'm just going to start asking you questions to get you thinking. Whereas you've got to present the questions
Yep.
to get the answer.
It, there was ask the actual question,
Hmm.
and what was the other one? Because there was one more. There was ask the actual question, use the correct word.
Hmm.
That was the other one.
Hmm.
Use the correct word. I do that intentionally. My method is different. So instead of using illusion, mine is a directness that forces you into a certain state of being. I am a very trial by fire teacher, even though I don't come across that way. So the more frustrated you get, the more it wells up. And then all of a sudden it pops. And you'll fucking hate me for a little bit. And then it clicks.
Oh.
This is exactly what he meant when he said these things. Because this is exactly what I do on a daily basis. It's that whole thing of when you are under such extreme pressure that honestly you put on yourself. I'm actually a very passive teacher when it comes to most things. Very, very. But the way I deliver it,
Is that eye roll at you?
right? But the way I deliver it, and this is why he was giving the eye roll. This is how this is done. What do you mean by that? Well, ask the proper question. What do you mean? Use the correct word. Ask the proper question. And it pushes that pressure.
No, it's done with spite. It's not done with love. I'm just kidding.
Right. No, if it was spite, he wouldn't be here. It's...
Actually, it spites a lot of the reason why I'm here.
Loathing. Just that's what's keeping me alive. Anyway, but
spite is a hell of a motivator.
It is
for me.
It is, and being honest, and that's the reason why he's giving the eye roll. Is I used it.
Mm-hmm. You can't do that.
The more he forced against it, the more it showed true.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason being is he placed that on himself. Cool, man. It's whatever, but this is legitimately how this is.
I gotta figure it out.
Okay. Cool. Just let me know how it goes.
This is how this went.
Okay. Well, think about it this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Try it again.
Okay.
So what was different?
Mm.
You know, and that's how it works. Because when you're in those moments of extreme pressure, the inhibition goes away. Because you're not focusing on, am I doing it right? Is this real? Is this legitimate? Is this how this actually works? Does this person know what they're talking about? You're not focusing on that shit. You're focusing on the fact that you hate exactly what it is that I told you a million fucking times until it clicks and you go, oh, he said this and this is what it is. Form the ball. And then literally just straight into it. that tells you he's been focusing on fucking fundamentals. So, used to, okay, drop it. Form the ball. Drop it. Form the ball. We did this literally for 15 minutes. And this was one of my favorite memories. And this is when I knew he was going to be like one of the best students I ever had. He started, I'm not feeling anything, man. I do it this way and I can actually feel it. Why can't I feel it when you have me do that way? Form the ball. Now squeeze. And at that particular moment when he was like, there's something there, I go, exactly. Oh! No, I'm like, yeah, this is great.
I'm not making it dense enough. Oh!
Some people have to have a very passive situation where they can think abstractly. whereas other people need a very direct structure. And that's the difference between the two of us. Davis is both. Fucking sucks.
I love you, Davis.
Uh,
If you ever watch this, man, I love you.
we love you to death. But it's like sitting at a college lecture with Ben Stein talking and then getting slapped in the face with a dead fish when you know, when you don't comprehend it. Fuck.
Oh.
Now I feel, look, and smell like shit. Thanks, man. No, it's not that bad. It's we're just giving him shit because of, well, Spike. But no, but it is that kind of teaching. He's very abstract with the way that he presents things, and is very aggressive with the way he presents things, even though he says it in a very passive way.
This is how this works.
Literally,
This is exactly how this works. To the letter.
by the fucking book. This is exactly how it works, broken down, piece by piece. This is how this works. We are taking a car engine the fuck apart. I am explaining every nut and bolt to you in great detail, down to how many threads are on it. This is how this works.
Size of nuts and bolts, how many wires are on the damn thing, what the engine composition is, how the motherfucker will fire in the right order.
Okay.
What the spark plug gaps are.
Okay, did you retain all that? Cool, because now we're going to put it back together. Oh, by the way, you're doing that alone.
Yeah.
And that's how he teaches. But the reason why he does that is so that you will come back and ask questions. Because once again, just like any other teacher that's worth their salt, he's building a mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Extreme critical thinking. Okay.
To the fucking nines.
Because it's very important with certain things that you have that thought process.
Mm-hmm.
That finite precision and finesse. Because if you don't, and you tilt one way or the other, you can fuck it up immensely.
No pressure.
None.
None. I have a bomb.
It's both a pressure switch, motion.
And it's
will
got a
set it off.
and it's got a mercury switch in it.
Don't jostle that bitch.
No.
Don't even breathe in its general vicinity. And it's got this rat's nest of fucking wires at the very base of it.
And in the very bottom of it, it's got hornets.
Clip one wire that's in the middle of that rat's nest and don't touch any of the other ones. Sure. See, we get just as frustrated. We're no better than anybody else when we're learning shit. We get just as frustrated, but it makes it all that much more rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it actually clicks and you're like, yes, you know, you can actually look at it from your own perspective at that point and go, so this is what I learned. This is what I can do with it. This is what I perceive it as.
Mm-hmm.
So moving forward from this point, I can go that route, which is the way he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, you learned that, you know how to form that, you form it in your own way, cool. It's to the letter the way it should be. That's all that matters. With Davis, it's presented in an abstract way, but it is very precise.
Yeah.
Whereas with us, it can be abstract, what it is that you learn from us, but it is given to you in a precise way.
What you get's what you get.
Yep.
This other one, it can't work like that. Like at all. Whatsoever.
No. No.
You can fuck up alchemy. Worst you're gonna get is a headache.
Well, depending on which alchemy you use.
Truth, but you know, base shit.
Yeah,
I'm learning base shit from Davis.
Right. Base alchemy, yes. Worst you're gonna get is a fucking migraine, heart palpitations, maybe,
Joint pain.
yeah, maybe it'll feel like you punched a brick wall for a couple hours. That's it.
With his, you just caused a ripple. You'd have no idea what in your life is about to fuck.
And it's true. Or whose life you're going to affect as a result.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so it is 12:06.
Fuck. We had people to talk to tonight.
Yeah. Y'all got any questions before we wrap up?
Yep, you guys got us as long as you got questions. At least until 12:30. We'll bounce at 12:30. So if you guys got questions, give them to us. Oh, damn. Talking about this shit just makes me itch. Reminds me of when I was first learning base metaphysics and then started into alchemy.
Right.
Jesus. At least we don't have Charles as a teacher.
I'd have hit him in his mouth.
Exactly. At least we don't have Charles as a teacher.
Already. Like day one, probably hit him in his mouth. He'd probably put me on the ground. But I'd swing. If I ever meet the man, I'd be like, you're a dick. And he'd probably go, yeah, you're right.
But I'll teach you how to do things.
Cool. Here's my process on how to do the thing, man. Fuck that. We're learning my method.
Well,
Actually, yeah, that's normal.
what's that?
My normal is speaking to my house. Is that weird?
No,
No, it's not weird. I do the same thing.
not at all. We all did the same thing.
Yeah. Houses have souls.
You could go complete Taoist with it. Everything has a soul.
Mm-hmm.
Which technically it does. Everything is born of, in some part, a living thing, even if it is an inanimate object.
Okie dokie. Well, we're going to go ahead and hop, and we'll see you guys next. You doing anything Saturday?
What is this Saturday?
Saturday.
Fucking Christ.
It's Saturdays this Saturday.
I know, man.
The forecast. Are you doing the forecast Saturday?
It depends on the date. That's what I was wondering.
5th.
Yeah, I'll be doing the thing Saturday.
So, you'll be seeing Steve on Saturday.
I'll be doing the Furtcast and telling yins about the energy
Things.
sturf and stuff.
His electric mouse.
My lightning rat.
But love you guys, and we'll see you guys. He'll see you Saturday. I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Love you.